Sorry I'm super late. Some of the craziest driving weather I've been in about 10 years. I'm going to start with a quote. I'll be brief. I know there's not much time. I think a majority shows up to the discussion now believing that the news is a game, politics is empty, and we're burdened with a governing class that only knows how to break things and impede most useful forms of human activity. The puppet show is a puppet show. This is written by Chris Bray on a Substack called Tell Me How This Ends. Tell me how this ends. You heard a little bit from Jody there about our constitutional challenge. It's Adamson Barbecue out of Skelly. We have 6 experts, the best team of experts in North America. We're the only challenge of the COVID-19 narrative. No one else is challenging any of the stuff in court. As far as any court knows, asymptomatic and pre-symptomatic transmission is real. It's not real. But they continue that to this very day as if it's the truth. And as a result, they continue to hold up all these tyrannical mandates. We are also the only challenge in this province of nearly 15 million people of the Reopening Ontario Act, which is the most tyrannical legislation to ever exist in this province, and that is until Bill 100 was passed back in April. I wanted to mention stuff about the WHO Pandemic Treaty and the IHR, or International Health Regulation Amendments. A lot of people are very worried about this stuff. You should certainly be concerned, maybe a little bit worried, but not fearful. Just like the Nuremberg Code, it's international. However, it does not become part of Canadian law, and especially provincial law, unless the legislature or the Parliament of Canada adopts it into our legal system, be an act of Parliament or an act of the legislature. There's something called the separation of powers, because the executive, that is like the experts and the minister and people like that, the unelected officials, the executive is running the show. So the executive is supposed to be in a bit of a competition between the legislative branch of government and judicial branch, the courts. But what's happened is that has disappeared. It's called the separation of powers. It goes back to about 1750. In 1788, it was incorporated in the beginning of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United States, and it was eventually incorporated into our Constitution about 100 years later. Thomas Jefferson said, and he was quoted in 1788 in his Federalist Papers, which formed the basis for a lot of the U.S. Constitution, that the separation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary in the same hands, not only is that indistinguishable from tyranny, it is the very definition of tyranny. The law, in case you didn't notice, is not a piece of paper. It's mass consent. It's the use of force. Do not obey unjust and unconstitutional laws. It is your duty to disobey those laws. And for our law enforcement friends here, do not enforce unjust and unconstitutional laws. You have a duty. You've sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution of Canada. You operate under the statutory authority of the Police Services Act, of which Part 1, first point of Part 1 is to uphold the Constitution, the Charter, and the Bill of, and the Human Rights Code. I was just following orders is not a defense. There's something I've been circulating around in the various telegram groups that I'm in. I'm just going to read it to you verbatim, because this bears on all of us very, very heavily. The "we're all screwed" attitude is absolutely horrible. They will ram through the IHR amendments in less than 8 days, less than 7 days now. Guaranteed. They simply codify the tyranny we've been under for the past 26 months. Fact is, the WHO already has these powers and efforts. They've had it for the past 26 months. Going forward, forward, they'll need local law enforcement to do the bidding of an international organization of criminals. The cops do all the work. They take all the bad press and rap whenever something bad happens, which would be often. Hence, they won't enforce it. Not here anyway. I'm just preaching to the converted, of course, but it's up to us to convince everyone else to not comply with unjust and unconstitutional laws. We are not China, and we aren't going to be, no matter what the woke, psycho, and Team Satan crowd wants. There's another strategy that they use against us. They have a sandwich of fear and confusion. In between there is uncertainty, doubt, and anxiety. They constantly contradict themselves by design. They confuse us. They don't want us to know what's coming next. Just like they said, the WHO said they don't believe in lockdowns, yet this is exactly what empowers them to do more lockdowns. There's a horror movie analogy that you all know, such as if you know the killer is coming, you're not going to be scared of him. If you think it's a cat that's jumping out and then the killer jumps out and chops someone's head off, it's a lot more scary. They do the same thing here. They keep us guessing. They keep us confused. Don't fall for it. Similar to horror movies. What did they get up to? It was like the 5th or 6th installment of Friday the 13th. By then, a serious horror movie turned into a joke. What are we in right now? The 5th or 6th wave? It's a joke. It's a tragedy and a comedy all put together. Lastly, there's the digital ID and the central bank digital currency. It's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It is coming. They're going to put it on our cell phones. That's the only way they can do it. The only way going forward is you have to reject an ordinary cell phone and either not have one at all or get a Google phone. Lastly, our entire legal system is revolved in consent and bodily autonomy for centuries.